Namaste everyone, and welcome to our wonderful yoga flow today, designed to give you that little bit of self-care that we sometimes miss out on. I'd like you to begin kneeling at the base of your mat. Take your gaze ahead, take your arms in front of you. We're going to interlace our fingers and cross our right arm over top of the left. As we inhale, we're going to lift up, look up to the sky, and exhale, lower our elbows down to our knees. Inhale up, look up, arch through the back, exhale, lower down. Inhale, arch, articulate through the spine, lift up those arms and stretch out the shoulders. Exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale, arch through the back, stretch out the chest. Exhale, lower back down. Twice more, inhale, lift up, stretch those arms. Exhale, lower down. Once more, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. And then when you're ready, make your way back to center. Let's intertwine those arms the opposite direction. Exhale, lower the elbows to the knees. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower, articulate through the spine as we wave down. Inhale, push up those arms to the sky, open up through the chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, gaze to the sky. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, open up the shoulders and the chest. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, open the chest, gaze to the sky. Once more, exhale, lower down. Inhale, round back up, open through the chest. Release the arms to the sky. Inhale, take a big stretch through the chest. Hold for a breath, and as we exhale, we're going to release down to the mat. Chest comes down to the mat, coming into child's pose. I'd like you to make this a wide child's pose, so knees are mat width apart, toes are together, and allow your forehead to just touch the mat gently, chest sinking to the mat. Connect your heart center to the ground, and just take a few breaths just to center yourself. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Close the eyes. We're going to slowly walk the right hand over to the left side of the mat. Take your left arm behind your back, reaching the fingertips for that right hip or right inner thigh, taking a quick bind with that left arm. This is a really great stretch for the right shoulders, the right side body, and also the left shoulder as well if you're taking that bind. If you can't take the bind, just allow your left hand to come back down to the mat, so that the fingers are pointing in the same direction as the right hand. Hold for a breath here and really feel this deep stretch in the side body. Now let's switch over to the other side. Left hand comes to the right side of the mat, right arm behind your back, reaching for the left inner thigh. Left cheek comes down to the mat, looking over to the right side. Open through that right shoulder as much as you can. Again, you can take that beginner's variation with the right arm down to the mat as well. Just hold for one more deep breath here, getting deep into that right side body. Closing the eyes and immersing yourself in this posture for just a moment longer. This is a brilliant stretch just to detoxify the spine and the rib cage, especially with that breath moving in and out through the lungs. You're almost done. Bring that left arm back to center, right arm joins it, come back to child's pose. Hold for a nice deep breath, and then slowly walk your hands in towards your body. Close the knees and come up into tabletop. We're going to place the palms of our hands on the mat, but with the fingertips pointing towards our legs. Inhale, we're going to round the spine up, taking a cat-cow. Exhale, look forward, drop the belly towards the mat. Inhale, chin into the chest, lift the spine upwards. Exhale, drop the belly towards the mat, curve the spine down, take your gaze ahead. This is an excellent stretch for the front, the underneath of those forearms, also for the wrist as well. Come back to center with the hands, and we're going to place the hands onto the back this time. And when you're ready, we're going to sit back with our glutes coming down to our heels, and then we're going to inhale and come back forward. You want to make sure that the fingertips again are pointing towards the legs as you do this. So exhale, rock back, hips come down, inhale, come forward. Just do this a few more times, really stretching out the back of the hand and the wrists. We often neglect our wrists, but they're really important to stretch. Come back to center, and we're going to begin with our main sequence. We're going to step the right leg back, tuck the toes under. We're just going to take a quick hamstring stretch. I want you to rock backwards and forwards slightly, just pulsing on that right foot. This is a really great stretch for the back of the legs. Just warming up through the back of the legs and the hips as well. Tuck the chin into the chest to make this even deeper. Now point the right toes. We're going to lift the foot up off the mat so that the knee is in line with the hip. And when you find your balance, lift the left arm off the mat, fingertips pointing forward, take your gaze ahead. Then we're going to reach back with that left hand for the right ankle and draw the foot towards the sky, keeping the toes pointed. Curving the spine down, stretching through the hips and the spine, keep your gaze ahead, really finding a nice deep stretch as well in the left shoulder. Hold for one more deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Find that balance. I tricked you, you're going to hold for even longer. In through the nose and out through the mouth. You're almost there. Find that balance, keep holding. And release the foot, come back into bird dog pose and lower the knee down. Let's repeat that on the other side. So we're going to step that left foot back, tuck the chin into the chest, tuck the pelvis under. Just going to rock backwards and forwards on that leg, really stretching out through the back of the leg. Just do this a few times just until the hamstring and the calf muscle is warmed up. Also stretching out the glute here. When you're ready, we're going to point those left toes and slowly lift that leg up off the mat. Once you find your balance, keep your gaze ahead, and we're going to lift that right arm up off the mat, fingertips pointing forwards. Hold for a breath, keep that spine flat. Then we're going to reach back for the ankle, lift the foot up towards the sky, gazes ahead again. Drop the belly slightly towards the mat, curving through the spine. Stretching out that quad, that hip, and that right shoulder. Keep holding, I won't trick you this time, so we're going to hold for quite some time. Keep that drishti, that focus point, so don't move your gaze around, otherwise you'll fall a little bit. Just keep it on one specific point that's unmoving, and hopefully you'll find your balance if you kept your center of gravity right. Release the foot and come back into bird dog. Then we're going to come back into tabletop. When you're ready, lift the right leg out again, reach back for the ankle, and this time we're going to draw the heel towards the glute. Keep the knee in line with the hip, and we're just taking a quick quad stretch here, also balancing again, but keep your gaze down. Hold for just a few moments here, really finding that nice deep stretch in the front of the leg this time and in the hip. Then when you're ready, we're going to twist round, pivoting on that left leg so that we're facing the longer edge of the mat. Take your right hand on the ankle, and we're just going to lift the foot away from the body so that we're pushing the chest forward, the stomach forward, opening through the hip. This is quite a complicated stretch, quite unique, but it's really great for opening through the front of the body, opening the quad, opening the hip, also stretching out the glute as well. Hold for just a few more moments. Then extend that right leg out, right arm to the sky, lower the right foot to the mat, plant it so that the toes are pointing towards the long edge of the mat, and release the right arm over the head, gazes up to the sky. Holding this gate pose for a moment, find length through that right side body, really breathing into the intercostal muscles in the rib cage, in through the nose and out through the mouth like always. Just find that deep stretch, really getting into the obliques as well. Now come up to neutral of the spine, plant the right hand down. We're going to lift the left arm to the sky and then thread it underneath the right arm, reaching for those right toes. Allowing the left shoulder, the left tricep to come down to the mat, looking towards those right toes and your left hand. Right arm can come over top of your head, or you can even take a little bind, reaching for the left inner thigh if you want to go even further. Twisting out the spine here, twisting from the belly button if you can. Keep your hips nice and square so you're not lifting that right hip too much up towards the sky. You want to make sure it's nice and straight. Slowly begin to rise out of this posture. Right hand comes down to the mat and lift the left arm to the sky, looking up towards the left hands. Then come back to center and slowly make your way into 4-point kneeling tabletop, gazes towards the top of the mat. Let's repeat that sequence on the other side. This time lift up the left leg, draw the left heel towards the left glute with the right hand and just hold for a moment. Really engage through the quad. Keep the spine nice and flat. You want to make sure you're tucking the pelvis under to get that nice balance here. Keep your gaze down instead of forward this time to even more find that balance as well. Hold for just one more deep inhale, stretching through the quad, and a nice big exhale. When you're ready, we're going to pivot on that right knee so that we're facing the long edge of the mat. Reach back this time with the left hand for that left ankle. Pull the foot away from the glutes, away from the body, and open through the chest, pushing your stomach forward. Throw your head back slightly and really feel that deep opening. Also opening through the left hip as well. Find that balance again, or even close your eyes and immerse yourself in this amazing, unique stretch. Hold for one more deep breath in through the nose. And on your exhale, release the foot, arm comes above the head. Plant the left foot down, and then we're going to come into our gate pose. So left arm over the head, stretch through the left side body. Take a nice elongation along through that leg, all the way up through the torso, and then stretching with that left hand. Even the left fingertips are reaching nice and far. Hold for a few breaths here with your gaze up towards the sky. Make your way back to a neutral position with the spine so that you're up nice and tall. This time we're going to thread the right arm underneath the left. Right fingers are reaching for those left toes. Right cheek comes down to the mat, left arm overhead, or even binding to that right leg behind the back. Just hold, twisting from the belly button, keeping those hips square as much as you can. Right knee is directly under the right hip. Make sure you're getting that correct alignment to feel the posture even more. Slowly come up out of the posture and reach the right arm to the sky. Gaze to the sky, hold for a breath here, twist through the spine. Then release the hands down, pivot back into our 4-point kneeling tabletop pose. And then when you're ready, we're going to push our hips forward, walk our hands forward and come down into Sphinx pose. Hips and thighs are on the mat. Tuck the toes under for a deeper stretch or untuck the toes for more relaxation. We're on the forearms, so we want to make sure that our elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. Elbows are in line with the hands as well. Bow your head down slightly with a little bit of humility, just to stretch out the back of the neck and the upper back as well. We're just going to hold here, taking a few deep breaths. This is one of my favorite relaxation postures, so make sure you're coming to that breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Open through the chest, feel that stretch in the upper chest, in the collarbones. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and back slightly, just to make sure you're getting that optimum stretch in the chest. Now take your hands beside the chest, tuck the toes under. We're going to push up into Chaturanga and then push the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Bring the heels down to the mat. Keep your legs almost mat width apart. Hands are shoulder width apart. Gaze is towards the feet. Just going to hold here for a breath in this downward facing dog. Find that deep stretch in the back of the legs, in the hamstrings and in the calves. Then on your next inhale, we're slowly going to round forward through the spine into plank. Then we're going to wave our spine and push back into downward facing dog. Inhale, wave forward. Exhale, curve through the spine and wave back. Inhale, wave forward nice and slow. Exhale, wave back. Take a nice big stretch in the hamstrings. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, wave back. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, wave back. One last time, wave forward nice and slow. Exhale, push back into our downward facing dog. And we're just going to hold here in our beautiful downward facing dog. Take that nice big stretch in the back of the legs. Then when you're ready, bend the legs, place all your weight into your hands, and we're going to jump forward and land on our sit bones. Take your legs out in front of you. Hold here for a breath, find that breath. Then we're going to extend the legs out in front of us. Take our arms behind us, hands planted on the mat, fingertips towards the legs. And we're just going to lift up through the hips, throw the head back, coming into reverse plank. Stretching out through the frontal chest, stretching out through the torso, the abdomen, the hips. Pushing through the hips, squeeze the glutes, engage the quads. Hold for just a few more breaths. This is quite an intense stretch, especially for that upper body. Keep that head thrown back, open through the collarbones even more. And then when you're ready, lower the hips down, scoot the hips down the mat. Take your arms out in front of you, and we're going to lower down into a reclined position. Find your center once again and take a few deep breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to hug the knees in towards the chest, nose to knee. Hold here, then we're going to extend the legs to the sky, release the head down. Take the outside of the feet and we're going to draw the knees towards the mat, bending the legs. Pointing the pelvis towards the sky, stretching through the hips and the inner thighs. You can rock from side to side in this happy baby pose to get a deeper stretch in the hips, or stay static, focusing on drawing the knees towards the mat. This is a really great stretch for relaxation, massaging the lower back if you're moving from side to side, or just releasing any emotional tension from the hips, which tend to hold quite a lot of tension, especially if we sit around a lot or if we do a lot of running. So it's really great just to find a little release for the hips before we end the practice. When you're ready, if you're rocking from side to side, I'd like you to just come back to center and hold still for a moment. Allow the feet to come slightly further apart just to get a better stretch in the inner thighs and the hips for a moment. And then when you're ready, draw the legs up towards the sky. Release the legs slowly down towards the mat. Hold for a moment with your legs hovering up off the mat, and then lower down all the way, coming into Shavasana. I'd just like you to take a few moments in this Shavasana just to wind down. Palms are facing towards the sky, close your eyes. Breathe into the belly, in through the nose, and a long exhale out through the mouth. Release any tension, whether that's physical in the body or mental in the mind. Anything that's holding you back, anything that's causing you stress, it's not worth it, so just let it go. Inhale positivity, inhale peace and kindness. Exhale anger, exhale sadness and negativity. You've done amazingly well in this practice, and I'd like you to take a moment of gratitude for your body. We're so lucky to have healthy, functional bodies, and sometimes we don't appreciate it and we take it for granted, and we don't use our bodies to bring us joy, like walking in nature. We just sit in front of the TV. So I want you to just maybe go throughout this day and appreciate your body and do something for it, whether you go for a walk or go for a bike ride or a little Pilates workout. But this yoga has been really amazing for stretching the entire body, and hopefully it gave you a little bit more peace so you can continue with your day with a little bit more serenity, a little bit more zen, a little bit more peace, and you can convey that into others. Slowly bend the legs and allow the knees to fall away to one side. Allow the entire body to come onto the side, and with the top arm, we're just going to push up into a seated posture in the center of our mat, into a seated easy pose. Take a moment to breathe with the eyes still closed. Allow the breath to wash over you, all that peace, all that positivity you've brought into your life through this practice. I'd like you to continue throughout the day with it. Hold your hands in a prayer position up to your lips. Brush your fingers over your lips as you do this, and then draw the hands up the face, brushing the nose, brushing the third eye, and up towards the forehead. Hold at the forehead with that prayer position, and then arms to the sky, and release the hands beside you. Thank you for joining me. Namaste, everyone.